Hey everybody, Dr. Sanderson here. Welcome to Unit 6, which is about emerging social media platforms. And for this unit, I'm going to have us focus specifically on two. One I'm sure most of you are very familiar with based on your course introductions, and that's Snapchat. And the other one is Pinterest. So with these two platforms, I will say there are some mixed views about their value or utility for business. Let's start with Snapchat. I mean, one of the first things there is if you look at most business owners, they're older, a little more conservative, and they generally have negative views about Snapchat because of the disappearing content. They've heard stories about people taking naked pictures on Snapchat, and Snapchat's also had some data breaches as well. And then with Pinterest, this isn't really a criticism so much as there's a big perception that it's a female-only site. So, in fact, I have several friends who tell me they will never get on Pinterest because it's only for women. So, in terms of reaching the biggest audience you can, is Pinterest really effective then? So, with those criticisms being said, though, there's definitely some value on both of those sites, and they've kind of come along within the past couple years, especially Snapchat, has really become a major player. And if you look at a lot of brands are now using Snapchat primarily to connect with millennials because that's where they are. And if you're a brand, you want to go where the people are. Now, there's also a concern, or at least a downside to that, is that some people have said, well, people don't want brands on Snapchat. They want it to be just for them and their friends. But, with that being said, I think Snapchat is seeing the value of making their app business friendly. And then with Pinterest, even if you are only reaching women, that's still a very powerful demographic that you can look at. And so for me, I do a lot of work in sports, and it's been very interesting to see a lot of the sports organizations, create Pinterest pages for the sole purpose of reaching the female fan. So, when you look at the course readings and videos this week, just formulate in your mind, what's the business value, or if I was, a social media consultant, or I was doing social media for an organization, would I use Snapchat? Would I use Pinterest? And how would I use them? And along those lines, you're going to get some practice doing that, because in the discussion forum, what I'm asking you to do is to presume that you've been hired as a social media consultant for a new restaurant, an American-themed restaurant in downtown Clemson. And basically what you're being tasked with is to recommend to that restaurant whether they should use either Pinterest or Snapchat and why. And so you're going to pick one of those two platforms, make a, probably a couple paragraph business case for why they should be on it. There's more information in the discussion forum itself about, their target market and those sorts of things. But, and then along with that, you'll also need to provide some examples, at least 1 to 2 examples that the company could see of how to use either Pinterest or Snapchat, depending on which one you end up recommending. So, for instance, if you pick Snapchat, go find an example either through a news article or an actual post of a company that's doing something good on Snapchat that you would show the client and say, hey, this is what we need to do. And you can either put that as a URL in your initial post, or put in a file attachment in your initial post. Same deadlines as usual. Your initial post is due by Thursday at 11:59 Eastern Time, and your 2 response posts are due by Sunday at 11:59 Eastern. So really looking forward to your thoughts this week. This is a fun topic for me. I get asked all the time about Snapchat, so I'm really curious to see how you guys look at Snapchat as well as Pinterest. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.